Hey everybody, and welcome to the end of round 3 Broken Shifter podcast. I am Hurdon.
Carbon?
And I'm Caboose, who's getting bullied.
And we're here to talk about the last 3 races and what our picks and thoughts are on the final race with Homestead. So Martinsville, I guess we'll talk about incidents a little later on. Martinsville stage wins. Brad, and then Kyle Busch won it. Texas was Harvick, Larson, and Harvick won it. Phoenix was Larson, Hamlin, and a very controversial Kenseth.
Not that controversial.
Yeah,
It's not
well,
controversial.
not on his part.
He won it fair and square.
Not on his part. The way he got
No,
there
yeah,
was
the whole
controversial.
Chase Hamlin thing. Yeah, that was...
Yeah. Justin, or Carbon, whatever you want to be called at this point, would you like to do a rundown of the standings real quick? Who's in, who's out?
Well, obviously the Final Four, Truex, been just dominant the whole series, or season. Kyle Busch, been dominant late season. Brad, he's kind of hit or miss. And Harvick, kind of just showed up suddenly. He's kind of been off the radar for a while, and then at Texas he was just there. The first one's out, or not the first one's out rather, but everyone that's out now is from the playoffs: Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Matt Kenseth, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson, Jimmy Johnson, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Jamie McMurray, Austin Dillon, Casey Kane, Kurt Busch, and Ryan Newman.
All right, and we'll quickly say that at the end of the round, the 4 people that got eliminated were Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, and Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson, due to a failure, hit the wall. Chase Elliott did not make it on points. Ryan Blaney just had a bad race. And Denny Hamlin didn't make it on points because he was an asshole 2 weeks prior and he got payback. Any comments?
Final standings, Caboose?
In the words of the spotter for... It was either the spotter or the crew chief for the 78. Karma.
Yeah. So we'll do a quick rundown through these races. I guess Martinsville's pretty simple. Chase kind of ran Brad up the track.
Hard racing.
It was clean to me. He pushed him out of the groove. Brad probably wasn't happy about it, but Chase was going for the win. He wanted to be locked in. I still feel like it was a clean move.
It was
cleanish.
Racing. It was racing. It was rubbing, which was perfectly fine. It was a little dirty, but it was for a win. So I mean, if it was like for I don't know, 10th place or 15th place or something like that, then I would probably have been like, really, dude.
This is the way I'm
for punching your
for
ticket.
first place, I think it was a little different.
got under Hamlin. Hamlin had ample time to just back off, let Chase go, and catch back up to him later on the laps. And yeah, Hamlin had ample time to just let Chase go and catch his ass later. He didn't do it, so Chase kept racing him hard until they eventually got into the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, one got the raw end of the stick, and even then, still had ample time to come in, get the shit fixed. So,
Caboose, I think we need a rewind there.
I blanked
We're
out there.
talking about Martinsville.
Well, the way you guys were going on about it, it sounded like you were talking about.
I remember that happening.
Phoenix.
I'm not sure where he's going with that.
No, we're talking about the incident between Brad and Chase at the time, and then the follow-up with Hamlin.
Yeah, and then... Anyways, Justin, you can explain the incident that incurred after, in case anyone is confused by what Caboose just did. Chase basically moved Brad up the track. A little bit of bumping, took the lead. Denny Hamlin dumped him with like a couple of laps to go. And it wasn't just like Rubbins racing or here's the bumper. He just flat out dumped him. Larry McReynolds, even AJ Allmendinger said it on Race Hub. There's no way Denny Hamlin would have made that turn. He just destroyed
when you got
Chase.
all three of them agreeing, and I think even Brian Vickers was on one of the shows for a little while, and it went, that wasn't right. When the person that had a full-on moment called Vickernism named after him for doing stupid crap like that is saying that was bad, yeah, done there fucked up.
That is correct. And so Hamlin has earned the title of Kyle Busch for the end of the year. But we'll get around to the second half of that and why Hamlin isn't in the Final Four. So, Kyle Busch kind of has been weaseling his way through. And does quite well during that race. Pulls a little bump on, I guess it was Chase. Moves him up the track.
Oh, no. He moved Hamlin up the track. Similar how Chase did it to Brad.
Yeah,
he looked the same.
Right. Okay, so yeah, teammates screwing each other up. Kyle Busch wanted the win. Locked himself in on that one as well. After the race, Chase Elliott, to loud cheers, slammed Denny Hamlin in the door after the race. And I don't blame him. Because Hamlin was a douchebag.
Had a little bit of a face-to-face argument. And also one thing that happened before that. At the end of the race, when Hamlin did get knocked back, after Kyle Busch did what he did, Hamlin, I don't know what he was doing, honestly. Him and Blaney he was trying to basically stay ahead of Blaney for the extra points. And Blaney was kind of in like a little pinch. He couldn't move anywhere. He was between Hamlin and somebody on the inside. And ended up getting into the back of Hamlin's car. Hamlin proceeded to turn his wheel left, which he was on the right side of Blaney, and keep it there, trying to straighten himself out so he didn't spin. But then he kept it there all the way to the finish line, and inevitably caused many, many cars to get wrecked. It was a big one at Martinsville, which shouldn't happen normally. And
yeah, not unless it's a
Jimmy
restart.
was involved. Blaney was involved. Blaney still did get the position over Hamlin, even though NASCAR originally put Hamlin ahead. But then I think after replay they realized that was wrong and went back and changed it. And then
the chase system
was involved as well.
With the rounds, the playoff eliminations, they're kind of working, but at the same time, people are getting stupid with it.
I was at the end of the race, though, so.
I like the rubbings racing deal. I don't like people just intentionally wrecking people like what Hamlin did to Chase. And you see the haters, and they're like, "Oh, Chase Elliott, he's just a punk bitch," shit like that. And the man was leading the race. What are you talking about? Oh, he's in good equipment. Yeah, but you can put Danica Patrick in good equipment. Who says she's gonna fucking go up there and lead the race? Shut up. So Denny Hamlin, arguably in the best equipment in NASCAR, and he's getting beat. So he's got to dump the person. All right, so we'll let's move on to Texas, and we're done.
Nothing. Literally,
Boring
the one
ass
thing that happened at Texas that was even remotely interesting was Larson spinning, getting into the wall, catching on fire, and causing a red flag. That was it.
Okay, Texas.
Nothing else happened.
They fucked up Texas. oh, it's progressively banked in these two turns, and then turn 1 and 2
All
is
right,
lower
so
banked. Yeah, but guess what? Everyone was still running one lane on the bottom.
exactly.
Congratulations,
And
motherfuckers.
I think I am going to pass Phoenix off to Carbon.
Okay.
Well,
Well, you're
not
sort of
personally,
racing. I
I
don't
made a
think you
giant
can read
rant.
this.
Why do you think I went on the giant rant when we were at Martinsville?
Okay, you've had your
I'm
rant
in
for
the clear
Phoenix.
now.
That was the thing earlier. So we know that. We know how he feels about that. We agree 100%.
Copy
At least I do.
paste.
So what happened at Phoenix? Most of the race yet again was a little boring. It was kind of interesting to watch Chase and Denny Hamlin kind of play back and forth a little bit with each other, but
They raced around
Most of
each
it was
other for
kinda
most of the
boring.
race.
yeah. Jimmy ended up hitting the wall. I think his front right tire went down. He just couldn't stop it. Dale had a similar thing happen, but he managed to save the car. And a few other
'Cause he's
people
better
also
than
had the
Jimmy.
same issues.
Yeah, yeah.
One thing to note, Dale
I had to
Jr.'s
laugh
car
at
was
the
actually
end.
not bad at Phoenix. He was running the
He's good
outside
at
line,
Phoenix.
and he was actually the second fastest car on the track when Denny Hamlin was still out there, until
Yeah.
his tire went down.
Yeah, that's because he was running up into marbles.
Yeah.
No, he
just
was
couldn't get
passing
around
people left and right. He just got up into the marbles up there. All that rubber buildup and shit like that, and he blew a tire. There was no rubber up there except for the, like,
Yeah, I've
actual
noticed
balls of
everybody
rubber.
who ran the top line or attempted to run the top line
Yeah.
blew the tire.
Faster,
Because
blew a tire.
Jimmy, he was trying to run up there, and then he was like, no, this isn't working, it's slower. And he blew a tire. Dale, same thing. AJ.
Well, Dale was faster.
same
Dale was
thing.
passing people left and right. It just, what are you gonna do?
And then we had.
Well, he was passing people, and then he wasn't passing people because he would get stuck in a group behind people and just couldn't go anywhere. But once they started to spurt, he would whoop.
Yeah.
So.
And then
what else
we
got?
had Chase driving
Chase
Hamlin
incident.
up the track with a little light hit. It was rubbing.
I'm not
kind of a little bit of
calling that
karma
what
on
Hamlin
Hamlin.
did to Chase. Chase drove him up the track similar to what he did to Brad. And, I mean, everybody's saying he drove him into the wall. I don't see that.
Okay,
at
so
all.
the reason I am full on in agreement of what happened is because one, Hamlin didn't have to win the race. Honestly, let's be fair here. He did not have to win the race. He just had to place ahead of Brad.
Keselowski.
And he was being a douchebag.
Yep.
And yeah, he was slower. Chase was
As I
faster
mentioned.
at that time.
Yep. As
He
I
should
mentioned,
if he didn't want to be stupid about it, he should have just let off and let Chase go by.
Then running
I mean,
back down.
Chase inevitably was going to. I mean, if Chase would have won, Hamlin would have been out. But
Right.
the way the race was running that day, Chase was up and down, up and down, up and down. So it would have been just safer to let him by and
Yep.
wait for Chase to screw up, which didn't end up happening. Well, he didn't
I don't
screw
think
up, his
Chase
car
was going to
screwed up.
screw up. I think he was just burning the tires up. But, I mean,
I'll get to that in a minute.
speaking of
Hamlin did not hit the wall because of Chase. Hamlin hit the wall because he got out of the groove. He hit the marbles up at the top and
Chase followed
couldn't
him
get
up.
any grip. I don't feel like Chase pushed him in the wall. I really don't.
No, Chase definitely pushed him into the wall. Not
But
the
he didn't
incident where
slam
his
him.
tire blew. Not the incident where Hamlin was done. The incident before that, like it was probably 20 laps before that, Hamlin was just not having any of it, and Chase decided he dove into the inside, and it kind of looked like Chase's car might have wheel hopped or something, but
And you know what?
ended
Good
up
on
hitting
Chase.
Hamlin. Little light tap into the wall. There was a little bit of tire rub, and then it went away. Hamlin could have easily pulled into the pits,
When
fixed the
that
tire real
rub goes
fast.
away, that's when the tire blows.
Yeah, fixed the tire real fast, went out, done. Could have gained his spots back because his car was definitely one of the fastest cars on the track. No, he
Well,
decided to
Brad
stay
was
out.
sneaking up at that point.
Yeah, but I think he still could have gotten out there. Brad was having problems too at the end of the race. His car was over.
Brad was like 5th when that happened.
Hamlin did
Brad
not
had
run a
creeped up.
smart strategic race. He ran to win it.
I
and
tell you
He
what,
did.
I think he still had a little too much emotion over the hatred of the fans and
He
everything with
cannot
Chase and all that kind of stuff.
He can't stand Chase Elliott, and I don't know why. And Chase gave him exactly what he deserved. I'm saying good on Chase.
Yeah.
Chase made the right decision. He raced him. He raced him hard. He was like, "You intentionally wreck me. I'm gonna race you just hard enough to get to the point of intentionally wrecking you, but not push it that far." And that's exactly what Chase did. Chase's thumbs up. Denny Hamlin thumbs down.
yeah, I tell you one thing.
Right.
The roar of the crowd cheering from when Hamlin's tire went down and just fucking wrecked the wall was louder than the fucking cars. Which, how often does that happen? Not very.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because everybody has. Denny Hamlin's a new Kyle Busch. Because he's a dick.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Everybody thought
can I
everybody
just
thought
point
when
out-
he was having this feud with Joey Logano that Joey Logano was the dick. No, it was Denny Hamlin. It's been
Something
Denny
really
Hamlin.
funny that was said by Cole Witt in the Texas race when they were under red flag. Cole Witt said, it's really cool sitting here next to Kyle Busch because I get to hear all the fans booing and cursing him out. I love that comment.
That's all. All right, so we're gonna run down.
Anyways, back to Phoenix.
Yeah.
So Chase took the lead. Like with 30 laps to go, his car just started to fall off. By the sounds of it, he pumped his tires up really high so he'd get the speed back, but it fell off, or he overdrove it or something. Kenseth took his lead back and managed to hold it. I mean, obviously it hurts not having Chase in the Final Four, but I think it's kind of a interesting story to see Kenseth win his second to last race ever. And I mean, he had the car at the end of the race. He was up there pretty much most of the race, up in the top 5.
I do.
So,
wanna
I
say
don't-
He's top
something
10
else
at
real
least.
quick.
Yeah, his car was fast.
It's the
He-
motors that
his
keep
car, he
going
kept
for
it
the
together.
most part.
While Chase
Especially
and
after
Hamlin were
Larson's
kind of
blown up.
trading paint back and forth, and so yeah, Larson had some
yeah.
bad luck again for the third race in a row.
Yeah,
Probably.
he's
Blow up, crash,
They
blow up.
need to work on the equipment.
If Larson was on a team with a top tier car, like, could you imagine if Larson was in like at
You
Furniture
put him in
Row
the
or at
88, it'd still
JGR
blow
or
up.
something like that? Just
I don't
how
want to put
fast
anybody
he
in a
would be.
fucking Toyota.
Yeah.
no, I'm just
And
saying,
we're
like,
not saying
just
McMurray's
imagine
a bad
though,
driver.
like,
He's just not.
just how fast he's
top tier
he's got the
driver.
driver's skill for it. I think he's probably
he-
one of the
definitely.
best drivers
Well,
out there as far as
Ganassi has
Ability
been
goes.
on point. Even McMurray's been fast this year. Not to the point of Larson.
That's why I say I think Larson honestly is one of the best drivers out there.
Yeah, and
I
Chase
don't
is
think
too.
he still quite
but-
ranks with like Kyle Busch and maybe even Truex at this year, but I think Truex just has
Well, think about it.
Has really good equipment
Alright.
this year, but
Hold on. Think about it this way. Jimmy Johnson, 7-time champion. And Chase Elliott's outrunning him every week. In
I'm really
the
curious
same
about the
equipment.
car though, or what's going on there. I want to see what he does
I
next year.
it could go crew chief. It could be crew chief. Alan Gustafson's a really good crew chief for Chase Elliott.
While we're on the topic of
So,
this, actually, real
and
quick,
Chad
crew
Knaus
chiefs-
is
Older
Chad
SHL
Knaus is
cars.
really good
I read that article.
crew
too.
chief for
just wanna
Jimmy
point out-
Johnson.
Somebody was listening to. I was reading this on Reddit. Somebody was listening to Danica Patrick's radio, and the crew chief apparently just sounded like he just didn't want to. He didn't have any care about being in this race whatsoever. She kept asking
don't
him
blame
for things to fix
Maybe
the car,
Tony Gibson. Yeah.
and he literally just kept going. I don't know. I don't care. Like, it's like he almost. It's almost like is it? I don't think Danica's obviously one of the better drivers, but I do find it kind of surprising she
She's
never
got
won
talent.
once because
She's
she's
probably
supposed to be in a
outraced all
top-tier
3
car.
of us.
But they were saying that supposedly she's been in a lot of older Fords from other lower teams lately. She hasn't actually been in SHR cars. Also, older SHR cars, yeah. Like one of them was from like 2011 or something like that.
Because they're not expecting her to win, and then they're like, oh well, we got Kevin
Still, I
Harvick,
mean,
who's won a
She's been
championship and
fast
wins
this year a few
races.
times. She's been up there in the top 10
A
quite a
few
few times.
times.
And
Yeah.
I think if she was
I
in
mean,
top tier cars at those times, she might have actually had a chance. I almost wonder if it's
Maybe
the
it's
equipment
like
Maybe
of the
those
crew
were
chief
top
that's
tier
keeping her
cars and she
down
just
more.
wrecked them.
Maybe it's like the
But
NFL.
I just wonder if it is the crew chief and the engineers and the car and like the cars they're giving her and stuff like that that's kind of keeping her down a little more than like almost masking her driving ability a little more than people actually give her credit for.
I don't know. Anyways,
So who knows? But anyways, I just thought
So,
that was interesting. So.
Kenseth wins the race, and he by far did not have the best car, but definitely probably a top 5 car. I think Larson, Chase, Hamlin, those are probably your top 3 for that race. Truex was up there as well. It was rare not to see Truex up there dominating for once.
Last couple of weeks, actually.
And then, yeah.
He's been up there, but he hasn't been
And we go
winning.
our final picks. Our final picks for the championship round earlier in the year. I think we did this at the halfway point of the season. Carbon picked.
I think we've
Truex,
locked him in right.
Kyle
before
Larson. Okay, well then we'll take it that way. Carbon picked Truex, Larson, Jimmy Johnson, and Ryan Blaney. And he took 2 to the final 8. He took Larson to the final 12. And Truex all the way. Caboose went Truex, Jimmy,
I took 3 to the
Larson,
final.
and Kyle Busch. He took 2 to the final round. Jimmy and Larson didn't make it. And I took Truex, Larson, Brad, and Harvick, and I took 3 to the final round, which, like Carbon told me earlier, kind of like our fantasy league's going this year. I managed to squeak one out somehow. So, I think it's time.
Literally,
to
this
move
last until this last Phoenix race, all of us had 3 drivers still in the top 4, or the top 8 technically. But
I snuck a Brad.
Larson.
I snuck a Brad.
Sad part is Larson still wouldn't have even made it. He blew
All right,
his
so
engine
we
3
got,
times, or blew his engine twice and crashed
Yeah.
once his past 3 races.
I
so.
we all 3 had Larson.
Yep.
We all whiffed
So
on that one.
technically, we all made it to the round 3. Didn't make it.
None of us don't have a driver.
Hurdon's the
in
only
there.
one that's actually made it to the final round with all drivers, excluding Larson, of course.
No, excluding Larson. Yeah.
Like I said, I'm like
So-
Larson completely.
Caboose, who is your winner and your championship winner for Homestead?
Yeah. So who do you think's gonna win Homestead, the race itself, and then who do you think's gonna win the championship? If it's the same person, of course. But
I'm going to say Chase wins Homestead
interesting.
because he's just... because one of 2 things is either going to happen with Chase. Either he's going to go fuck... and then for the actual championship win... That one I'm having a hard time on because I don't know if I'll actually jinx the driver or not. So I'm going to go with Keselowski.
Ooh. Penske hadn't been strong.
Interesting
lately. This
picks.
was an interesting choice.
Martinsville's been, I think, his only true strength
Carbon, would you like
lately.
to
I
go
think
next?
that's the only one. I made.
Well, don't forget, I picked 1, 2 for Chicagoland.
Yeah, that was many moons ago.
Silent 2.
Okay, so mine. I just can't. I know Truex hasn't been winning these last couple of weeks, but I think they're going to bring all the stops at Homestead. I think they were just kind of sort of playing it safe. They've still been up in second, third place, literally the whole races. at Martinsville.
He had a
I think
free
he was up
ride
in
to the
fourth or
fucking
fifth.
final round.
Yeah, Texas, he was up in second, and he deserved it, honestly. And Harvick passed him like in the last 10 or 20 laps or something like that. And then at Phoenix, he was up there as well in the top three and top four for a lot of the race. So you just can't ignore Truex. I don't think he deserves it. Out of everybody, I think in NASCAR, point wise, he definitely deserves it and dominance of the entire season. And I can't see them not bringing their all this week. And if he brings his all, assuming he doesn't get into a wreck that he can't avoid, there's no stopping him.
So you're taking Truex for the race winner and the points?
And the championship winner, yes.
Okay. I'm going to take a little bit of a
Because if
different
Truex
route
wins
here.
the race, he's going to win the championship. So
All right, so Hurdon's pick, a.k.a. me. I'm going to go with race winner Kyle Larson. Championship winner against what I ever feel like saying in my life, Kyle Busch.
And can I add something real quick? Because I thought you were done.
I'm rooting for Brad or Harvick. But I'm picking Busch for the championship
for
and
Truex
Larson
over
for
Brad.
the win.
I do want to add another set of picks real quick. I just finished the video race, and according to NASCAR Heat Evolution, now granted I had some influence in this because reasons, it has the race winner as Martin Truex Jr., followed by this just chase driver, Keselowski, Harvick, and then Kyle Busch. So there's your NASCAR Heat 2 picks.
wait, so okay. There actually is
fair
one more
enough.
set of picks. So next week we are going to have Amp who's been in the Laura Croft videos and the Release Madden video. Next week as a little guest for the final podcast of the regular season playoff stuff. We'll still do a superlatives video as well after that sometime. But so Amp is going to be around, and he's also got Truex as his race winner and championship winner.
Okay. About wraps
pretty
it up
much.
for everybody, right?
For the champion.
Real quick, who do you think your dark horse pick is? Somebody who,
Dark horse.
somebody who's not in the final four, and obviously like isn't Larson, or who do you think's the sneaky little guy who could come in there, who hasn't been doing good?
For Homestead? Dale Jr.
Exactly. Come on, it's his
Yeah,
final race
I'll
ever.
go
He's,
ahead and
you
jump
know
on
he's going to
that
be bringing
boat.
him his all.
You gotta go with it. All right, so everybody's on the Dale Jr. Dark Horse bandwagon. He hasn't won this year. He didn't make the playoffs. All right, so I hope you all enjoy this extremely long version of the Broken Shifter podcast, where we ran down the last three races, and we're going into the championship race at Homestead, Miami. And I am Hurdon.
Carbon?
And I'm Caboose.
And
Boogity
we'll see
boogity
y'all
boogity.
after Homestead.